How do you create a Payday 4? You guys have seen the books, you've seen the formulas, but how about a Payday 4? Hey there, it's Prefontaine with SmartRealEstateCoach.com for another Deal Structure Sunday. A little bit different twist for you today. I want to talk to you, there's so many different ways to create a Payday 4. We do that at the Biz Scaling Secrets event, we do it at the QLS event, we do it in the private masterminds, but I want to just give you one today. How do you cash out a tenant buyer when you're in a sandwich lease arrangement? We get a lot of questions around that and it can be confusing. It's actually pretty simple. Let me walk you through what you want to be thinking about. First of all, you want to start right. What does start right mean? Start right means two different things. On the tenant buyer side, it means making sure they get pre-screened by whoever you use. We use Paul Ritter, mycreditteam.com. It also means tying them into a mortgage broker at the same time. All four parties, the buyer, you, and those two, understanding what the game plan is. And then you're not guaranteed, you're assured a higher percentage success that they're going to get to the finish line unless they have some crazy life event, okay? Starting right on your side, what do you have to do? You must put together your notice of option with your seller, have it notarized, and have it recorded. You cloud the title. When it comes to the end, nobody can get amnesia and forget who you are. You have to sign off on that. I'll come back to that in a second. So that's starting right. Then you must have along the way checkpoints. What do I mean by checkpoints? A couple different things again. One is with the house. You're going to check in every 6 months to 12 months. If you're comfortable with them and your interaction so far and how you think they keep the home, a year is okay. If you're in any way doubting it, go in every 6 months. Do a walkthrough. You'll be surprised what you find. We often leave and give them a checklist of things they've got to take care of, and if not, that spells they're going in the wrong direction. Okay, so that's one checkpoint. Second checkpoint is the tenant buyer's credit in whole mortgage ready plan. So if you call Paul Ritter, if you sign into your portal, because you have a portal for that, and it says that they quit or they're off or their credit card didn't go through and they're off the route with the credit repair, problemo. But better for you to know now, not later, so you can sell the home if you have to, conventionally or with another tenant buyer, okay? So start right, checkpoints, then you get to the end. Everything worked. Most lenders, whether you're using ours or someone else's, most lenders are going to want a clean purchase and sales agreement between seller and buyer, which you're going to have to orchestrate a little bit. Is it a problem? No, it's not a problem. 50% of our deals do that. 50% of the loan officers are more experienced and they take your regular lease purchase agreement that we have and they use that to close it. New purchase and sales agreement, you get both parties to sign it. Don't worry about it. You don't have to be listed in there like a realtor would be. You have a notice of option. You already clouded title. They cannot and will not close it without calling you. So now what happens? You get to the end. They're going to generate a settlement statement or a CD or a HUD, whatever it's called in your area. You're listed as option release fee in your company name. That's it. Now, how do you get to that number? This gets a little more complicated, and this is where the fourth payday comes out in almost every single case. Most attorneys are used to what? They're used to closing conventionally between buyer and seller. That means one example is buyer gets what? The bill for any taxes up till the time of closing. Well, that's not the case with us. Those taxes go on the buyer side, not the seller side, right? Because they're your tenant buyer. They're responsible for that while they're in the home. And there are other prorations like that. Then you've got to check. So this is so important that you review the statement, the HUD, the CD, before it closes, and you okay it before you sign off on the NOO, the notice of option. Because there are going to be different fees on there depending on what you negotiated with your seller. Are you paying transfer tax or is the seller? The seller might have to come to the closing table with money if they're not getting money out of this. Have you promised in section 13 of the sandwich lease agreement a certain amount of equity to the seller? That has to be the bottom line number, less any expenses that they are going to incur depending again on how you negotiate it. If you're an associate, you're going to have us look at that with you. On the last few deals, we've seen checks for $1,400, $1,800, $4,200. These are checks meaning additional things we found on the settlement statement. So you got to get used to reading those. Ask us if you have questions. That's the entire process of starting it right, monitoring it right, and getting to the settlement statement and getting your check from the attorney. Then you can sign off on it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have questions, I'm sure you do because that's a lot of detail. I went through it quickly as usual. Ask them here. We'll make another video or we'll answer them for you if it's simple. And we appreciate you tuning in to every Deal Structure Sunday. Be sure to make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And as a side note, I mentioned the two events. Make sure you register for the Business Scaling Secrets event and the QLS Live event. That's the only 2 all year, guys, that we hold, and those encompass absolutely everything we do, and you get to rub elbows with all the associates. So get your butt registered, and we look forward to meeting you there.